Yo, what's going on? I Love Basketball TV. In today's video, we're going to go over a few hacks to help you guys lock in that perfect arc and give you a couple drills to help you work on it as well. Let's dive into it. The reason why we want to have good arc on our shot is because it gives us more room to work with for the basketball to actually go into the hoop. The perfect spot for the ball to hit is right in the middle. That is the biggest part of the rim. So the lower that their ball is coming in or approaching at the rim, it's going to be harder to hit that sweet spot right in the middle. So to achieve that perfect arc, the easiest way to get it is just to have the correct release angle. Too many of you guys are releasing the ball too straight, more like a straight line drive. The others of you are releasing the ball way too high. So for my straight shooters or my flatter shooters, you guys are getting to your set point and pushing the ball straight out. So the ball wants to almost go straight towards the front of the rim. For the people who shoot too high, you guys are literally pushing the ball up straight in the air, so your arm is going straight up in the air with you. So when you release the ball too high, a ball goes up, but it doesn't go out as much, so it doesn't cover as much distance. So the angle that we want for our release is right about our eyebrow. So when we get to our set point, we want to be able to push the ball up and out. So now my elbow is right about my eyebrow level. So now the ball does two things. It goes up in the air, high enough above the rim, but it also covers that distance so it doesn't fall short and hit the front of the rim. Now, nobody's perfect, so you're not gonna have the exact correct release angle every single time. So when you go to release, even if you're slightly a bit higher, that's fine. Or if you're a little bit lower, that's okay. But what we don't want is we don't want to be at the extremes of each end. So we don't want to be straight up in the air like this, but we also don't want to be too flat either. So we want to be somewhere in the middle. Every jump shot needs to have good arc so it can go in, but also every hooper needs to have a good coach to help them dial in and perfect their game. But some people can't always afford it. If you guys need a free resource to help you dial in that perfect jump shot, I just want you guys to go down to the pinned comment down below, grab our ultimate shooting checklist. This will help you dial in that perfect form. Now, a good drill to help you dial in that perfect release angle is our backboard shot. So we want to get here lined up on the side of the backboard. Now we want to get close. Now with these shots, if we release the ball too flat, right, so we're shooting it at the backboard, the ball is just going to hit the backboard and come straight back to me. If I release the ball too high, it's gonna go towards the backboard, but then it's gonna miss it and then hit the floor. Our goal is to be able to shoot the ball, hit the backboard, and let the ball bounce right in front of us. So we still have to be able to hit the backboard and then let it bounce. So if I'm at that right spot, I wanna be able to release the ball, hit that backboard, and let the ball bounce right in front of me. That lets me know I'm having a good enough arc to get the ball above the rim, but it's also going out enough to be able to still hit the backboard. Now, the closer you get with this drill to the backboard, the harder it's gonna be. The further you back away, the easier it's gonna be. Now, you don't wanna try to get super close because that's going to force you to now release the ball higher so the ball can bounce. So you wanna find a good distance away where you're not too far, but you're not too close so you can still keep that perfect release angle. Now, the second hack we're gonna give you guys to help you increase your arc really ties in to the first one, right? So with our first one, we wanna have that perfect release angle. Now, before we can have that release angle, right, we're at our set point and we want to release it the right way. Before we release it, we want to make sure the ball or our wrist is underneath the basketball. If our wrist is behind, it's going to be a whole lot harder to be able to have that correct angle of the release. If we can get our wrist underneath the basketball, this makes it a whole lot easier to be able to push up and out so the ball can do both those things to be able to go into the rim. Now, people can struggle with this in two different ways, right? So when they have a lower set point, their hand starts to creep behind the basketball because they're probably trying to increase their range. They bring that ball just a little bit lower, which is okay. But when that ball gets a little bit lower, your hand starts to creep behind, and now you're probably going to push the ball more out than up, right? Because you're going to have a little bit harder time getting underneath of it and then trying to go up and out. The second way is the ball being too far above their head. So they have too high of a set point, their hand is too far underneath the basketball. From this position, they're naturally just gonna wanna pop the ball straight up, and now that's going to hurt that release angle that we talked about earlier. We wanna get the ball somewhere near the front of our face, right here where our wrist can get underneath. Now we're under the ball, we can still push up and out so the ball can still go into the hoop. So one of the best drills to help you with this is honestly just one hand shooting. Now this might sound a little boring, but you guys don't have to go right in front of the rim and just do form shooting. You guys can back up, you guys can shoot free throws, you can shoot threes as one hand, doesn't doesn't really matter because this is in a controlled setting. The reason why one-hand shooting works is because now you have to control the ball all with one hand. So even if you're shooting with a lower set point, your wrist still has to get underneath the ball so you can shoot the ball up. If your wrist stays behind the basketball, it's just naturally gonna wanna drop forward. When you get the ball too far above your head, now it's back here, it's gonna be too hard to control because the ball is gonna wanna fall back and you're not gonna be able to control it with your hands. So the ball is gonna naturally sit in that perfect position somewhere right in front of your face. Now you can push up and through the middle so you can actually control the basketball, get your wrist underneath it, and get that ball to go inside the hoop. So the third way we're going to increase our arc or make sure we have that perfect arc is to attach our legs onto the shot at the correct time. A lot of us get yelled at to use our legs, but let's be honest, most of us jump when we shoot the basketball. So that's really not an issue of using our legs, but sometimes we miss time when we use our legs. So we need to pay attention to the correct timing and the correct sequence within our shot. So when we want to attach our legs is when the ball gets to about the set point. So let's say I lift the ball moves first. Now once it gets about here, this is when I want to actually attach my legs underneath the shot and extend up. So now all the power we have that's underneath the basketball here, all that power actually goes into the ball at the same time. So now the ball can actually have that good arc. Now for a second, imagine you guys jump first and then you want to move the ball into your shot, right? If you guys did that, you guys would use all the energy from your legs to jump as high as you can. Then you're gonna try to play catch up with your shot, and then it's gonna be all arms. Now, of course, that is an exaggerated example, but a lot of you guys still kind of do this when we move the ball at the same time. So we get nice and low. When we extend up and move the ball, now that timing is off because our hips have a smaller distance than the ball does to get to its power point, right? So if I'm here and I move everything at the same time, my hips are extending and they're already up by the time that ball gets to that set point, and now I'm gonna use more of my arms. Now it's not like our previous example, but it's still close. We want to try to make sure we attach both power points together at the same time. So when we lift the ball, we want to get about here and then start to release our legs and jump into our shot. So all that energy goes into the basketball at the correct time. So for this hack, I want to give you guys a progression of drills to be able to work on this. Our first drill is I want you guys to get nice and low. Here, move the ball to your set point first, and then you're gonna hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, and then you're gonna jump and shoot your jump shot. From there, I want you guys to take maybe 10 to 20 shots, make sure you get comfortable with it, and then you're gonna move on to the next progression, which are slow shots. So you're gonna get nice and low, then you're gonna move the ball slow first, right? Once you get to your set point, then you're gonna speed up to the rest and then shoot your normal jump shot, making sure you control your levels so you're actually feeling the ball move, and then once you get here, flow through that set point spot and then shoot. Our last progression that we're gonna work on is everything just flows. So you're gonna get set, nice and low, and you're just gonna move the ball through your shot and flow like normal. The first 2 progressions are just to help you feel what it's supposed to really feel like when you shoot this shot, right? The last progression is just for you guys to put everything together. A lot of you guys need more arc on your jump shot, but you have just watched this entire video, so you no longer have any excuse to have poor arc. But if you still need a little bit extra help to dial in that perfect form, just grab our ultimate shooting checklist in the pinned comment down below.